If you're in the world of retail or pharmacy, you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say operational chaos. It's a daily battle. Well, today we're going to dive into a playbook that's all about transforming that chaos into calm, intelligent control. It's about shifting your entire business from just reacting to what's happening to actually predicting and shaping what comes next. And this quote, this right here is the heart of it all. This is the big idea we're unpacking today. Let it sink in. It's not just about getting better at predicting what might sell anymore. The real game has shifted to actively, constantly making the best possible decision to get the best possible outcome. So, first things first, before we can find our way out, we have to understand the maze we're in. Let's map out exactly what retail and pharmacy leaders are up against every single day. I mean, it's a totally fair question, right? To an outsider, it might seem simple. Buy stuff, put it on a shelf, sell it. But you and I know the reality is, well, it's anything but simple. It's because you are smack in the middle of a perfect storm of complexity. Just think about it for a second. We're talking thousands of different products scattered across hundreds of stores. Each one of those locations has its own crazy, unpredictable local demand. You're trying to protect margins that are already paper thin while juggling shelf life and compliance rules. All of this while your supply chains are less reliable than ever, and it's all happening at lightning speed with your data stuck in a dozen different places. It is frankly exhausting. So, how are most of us trying to fight this battle? With weapons that are completely out of date. We're talking static min-max rules somebody set 6 months ago. We're relying on gut feelings and manual overrides. We're staring at reports that just tell us what we did wrong yesterday. It's literally like trying to navigate that perfect storm with a paper map and a rusty compass. Okay, so we see the problem, but here's where it gets really painful. Using those old rules in today's world, it doesn't just cause a few small mistakes. It creates these massive, expensive, cascading failures. And this is the piece you've got to understand. A single bad forecast for one product in one store isn't just a tiny hiccup. Oh no, it is the first domino in a long, long line that's about to fall over and cost you a lot of money. And you can see that cascade right here in action. It all starts with one bad signal. That leads to the wrong order being placed. Now you've got inventory in the wrong place, either too much or not enough. The stockout costs you a sale, maybe even a customer for life. The overstock leads to products expiring on the shelf or getting marked down to nothing. Either way, you're forced into some frantic, expensive, last-ditch effort that just eats away at your margins. This really gets to the why behind the failure. Your rule-based systems, they're brittle. They were built for a stable, predictable world that just doesn't exist anymore. In your analytics, look, they're great at being a rearview mirror. They tell you a perfect story about the road you've already traveled, but they can't help you steer. They don't help you make a better decision about what to do right now. And the end result, it's this laundry list of headaches that every operator knows all too well. Margins leaking out everywhere, lost sales from empty shelves, huge amounts of cash just sitting there, tied up in inventory that isn't moving. And of course, a team that is just completely burned out from running around putting out fires all day, every day. Okay, so we've defined the problem pretty clearly. It's a mess, and the old tools just aren't cutting it. So now let's talk about the solution. And this isn't about getting a slightly better report. This is about installing a completely new engine for decision-making, and it's built on something called autonomous optimization models. So what on earth is an AOM? Well, think of it like this. It's an intelligent layer that sits right on top of all your existing systems. It's always on, always sensing what's happening in real time. It's constantly weighing all the complicated trade-offs, like do we prioritize customer service or cost? Do we risk a stockout or risk expiry? And then it recommends the absolute best move. And this is the magic part. It learns from the results and gets smarter every day. And this, right here, this is the absolute game changer. Your traditional analytics, even a lot of AI, they're built to tell you what happened or what might happen. They give you better awareness. That's fine. But an AOM is built to answer a much more valuable question: what should we do right now? It's not about creating prettier dashboards, it's about driving better business outcomes. What we're really talking about here is a total paradigm shift in how you operate. You go from this slow, rigid process of forecasting, then manually planning, to a fast, dynamic loop of sensing, optimizing, and acting. Static rules get thrown out the window, replaced by continuous real-time optimization. And all that reactive firefighting, it gets replaced by proactive control. You're finally ahead of the curve. Okay, so that's the big picture theory. Sounds great, right? But how does this actually play out in the real world? Let's get practical and look at a few solid examples of how these AOMs solve the problems you're facing every day. And here's the best part. You don't have to spend years and millions of dollars trying to build this from scratch. There are ready-made AOMs that are designed to target your biggest, most common challenges right out of the box. That means you can get them up and running and see a real return on your investment fast. Let's look at just two of them to start. First, an agentic forecaster that's built specifically to handle that crazy volatile demand we talked about. We're seeing forecast accuracy jump by 20 to 35%. Then you plug that new intelligence into a smart replenishment orchestrator and boom, stockouts drop by up to 50% and expiry losses get slashed by nearly half. I mean, those are huge, immediate wins for the bottom line. And it just keeps going. Got a product shortage? There's an allocation maximizer that makes sure your limited supply gets to the most important stores, boosting availability of those key items by up to 40%. Or how about those unreliable suppliers? A dynamic lead time injector actually corrects for that in your system, making it smarter so you can safely trim down all that expensive safety stock you're holding. And I think this quote really nails the strategy here. You start with these foundational, ready-made models to get those quick wins and solve the problems every retailer has. But then, from that solid base, you can tailor the system to optimize the very things that make your business special. Your unique promotions, your store behaviors, your competitive edge. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds like a massive, disruptive project. But the path forward is actually designed to be a phased, step-by-step journey that delivers real value and ROI at every single stage. It's a classic crawl, walk, run approach. You start by crawling. You use those ready-made models to get quick wins, to stabilize your forecast and replenishment, to get things under control. Then you walk. You start layering in that tailored intelligence for your specific business needs. And finally, you run, achieving full network-wide optimization that connects everything from your suppliers to your store shelves. And what's so powerful is that these results don't just happen in a vacuum. They actually compound over time. The improvements you make in reducing stockouts, cutting waste, and boosting inventory productivity, they all build on each other, creating more and more value as the system gets smarter and you move through the phases. And really, that brings us back to the ultimate strategic shift we're talking about here. The goal of your supply chain team should no longer be just managing inventory and handling exceptions. The goal is to have a system that is continuously and automatically optimizing for the best possible business outcomes, 24/7. So I'll leave you with this one last question to think about. Is your business just handling complexity? Are your teams just coping, reacting, and firefighting every day? Or are you ready to actually master it with a system that's built for the speed and the chaos of modern retail?